said ye di kan fie duonu a ofre asante sika dwaso ye ma utrinkwa trinkwa na chinso so no enam adwuma a waba be ye wo mamu efibra free sika dwa no Omana adisua omana kanko omana mpuntuo omana pakoye nkabom omana sumdwe kaka nansa wa wonu nyan na yi ene yabongura eboa ema yeyi ya na foforo awo dagbon ene asundwe aba dagbon wenum nyina etini aba ha na sie aba mema amo nyase tweri ampon Nyankopon so fe fie duanu so beka ho ewo sika ja no so na ontra so na okosombo Ghana man ambo asante man na koso ni ba ku ya ye hwehwe no etumi aba me ma fa de wa oni bibie ni ho ame no edwen ho na me so aboa me bebre na ka se kwa bia so no ye mi ye nya ende no me ja to ho aba manhia ha how ka for ya ba be da wasenso aka ho Ghana mai and then must say uchira ho ma asante man ko a uchira ho ma Ghana mai nyina na no etini ye de ni je aba ha say ye ba aba be catch say ayokufo piesie say mo ni adwuma utrinkwa nyankwada onyame nhyao enhyia santemai enhyia Ghana man nyina mede wase
Ghana mampani Nana Abedankwa Akufo-Addo na sabre wadi tinkwasam ama kotokohene Otumfuo setutu a otosumienu oyoko aboshade hye aduampofantwi basa yirifi adoye wo mu bisaketo amakase
yeah
sabre yenche kotokohene ene adekase yihemu a esan ede amanu moni yo fie aduonu ni a ofro abanwa empuntuo enkoso afisiesie asomdwe ho na motuo apomden enwomasua amanchichira afutupa
Thank you.
Sanka, Metimenshia idea. My name is Manfo Kasa. Anka, Yenia Kasa, and I was a mecha. And so, and I'm say, 2 and suffer. Nipa, I will free me, I yantia Kasa. Mr. Na Maputoka Kakra, Nasa, Nanamon, Bama Mquandia, Namenjanesa. Oman so Obama Mquandia, okay, tree come. The Mizon Gassan was a mechano, and so may say no mamma quine. Your Excellency, Excellencies, it is with deep gratitude that we welcome you to the 5th Adekese, commemorating the 20th anniversary of our reign. We are humbled by the presence here of so many emissaries and eminent chiefs who have traveled from far and near across oceans and continents to share with us tidings of amity and fraternity. We are pleased to welcome His Excellency the Vice President of the Republic of Suriname, who has made the long journey from the Pacific at the head of a 15-man delegation to be with us, and our grateful thanks go to our own head of state, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, for the great honor he has accorded us in leading our elder statesmen and former heads of state, and indeed the whole nation, as our special guest of honor. Your Excellency the President of the Republic and noble guests, it was by the grace of God that we ascended the golden stool and assumed the mantle of our forefathers on April 26, 1999. Throughout our journey, we have sought His guidance and protection, and He has never failed us. So we must see some significance in the fact that our Adekese, commemorating the 20th anniversary of our reign, coincides with one of the holiest days in the Christian calendar, the day of resurrection, a day of hope and renewal for mankind. You only have to look at this unique assembly here today to feel the manifestation of the hope and the renewal that beckons for our beloved nation. For the first time in the history of our republic, Asantewine is privileged to welcome to Adekese monarchs from the historic kingdoms of Gabon in the north and to the coastal kingdom of Anlo. They have come in all splendor, in peace and brotherhood, not just to share our moment of joy, but remind us of our common heritage and the new spirit of peace and unity abiding in Ghana. I would also want to let Nananum know that on the 2nd of June, the next Akwesida, we shall be hosting the Ochenhine here. For 17 years, our brothers in Gabon were in despair from a cruel conflict setting brother against brother and sapping resources and that could have been better spent on economic development for the people. Through painstaking effort, applying the centuries-old traditions, peace had been restored and we are able to welcome a new Yana to a reborn Gabon. Last year, I invited the Awomefia of Anlo State, Togbe Sri III, to come for us to ponder over the curious state into which political differences have plunged relations between our two peoples. We concluded that there was absolutely no reason why politics should be allowed to undermine the state of amity that has existed between Asante and Alo since 1824, and which was formalized when King Otumfuo Kofikakeri and the King of Alo entered into a sacred pact in 1865 never to wage war against each other. That pact led to the establishment of the Anloga community, which still thrives in Kumasi. Today, Togbe Sri and his entourage are back with us to reaffirm our cherished friendship and remove any artificially contrived discord with the potential to undermine the stability of our nation. We draw attention to the significance of the presence of our brothers at this Kesia because they provide a clear signpost to a new spirit that is brewing in our nation. It is the spirit of a resurrected, resurgent Ghana, united by a common heritage and at peace with itself. We feel it our bounden duty, therefore, in the presence of our noble gathering, to address a fervent appeal to His Excellency the President, our former presidents and elder statesmen, and the leadership of political parties who seek to govern our nation, to let this signpost guide us to our true destiny, which is a vibrant Ghana developing in peace and harmony. So let us distill the rancor, the bitterness, and the violence out of our political discourse and allow our nation embrace a new era of peace. In your name, therefore, on this holiest days, we send a simple but powerful message to our political leaders. Let peace reign upon our nation. Your Excellency, our journey over the 20 years of our reign has been both fulfilling and challenging. Many are the people who have been with us along the journey, who have contributed with all their might and resources to support and sustain our efforts. I pay tribute to Nananma Mahine and Abrempong for their steadiness in sustaining the unwavering unity and loyalty to the Golden Stool. I pay tribute to our loyal sons and daughters at home and abroad, whose incredible loyalty has been our greatest source of strength. And I pay tribute to our political leaders, whose wisdom and courtesy have created and sustained a level of collaboration between beneficial to the nation. I have had the honor and privilege of working with 5 heads of states in our 20 years reign. Each one has treated us with the utmost courtesy and grace. And to each one of them, we have made freely available our counsel and advice as would help them in the governance of our nation. I thank them in equal measure and assure the nation that we will continue to support whoever they choose by their votes to occupy Jubilee House. And I pay tribute to eminent sons and daughters and friends across the world, men like the former president of the World Bank, James Wolfenson, to our late Busubnur Kofi Annan, a great ambassador of peace and development for all mankind, His Holiness Pope Francis and the Archbishops of Canterbury, for giving us the opportunity to reflect the voice of traditional Africa at global level. By the grace of God and by the support of Nananum, our sons and daughters and friends, we have been true to the vision we set for Asanteman and our people. Bear witness to the impact we have made on their lives. The theme for this anniversary was chosen advisedly: deepening our cultural heritage through socio-economic development. The ultimate goal of governance, we know, is to provide for the well-being of the people. And for years, responsibility for the economic development which will provide for the people's well-being has been deemed to belong almost exclusively to government. Traditional leaders, who are the custodians of an undying heritage, have had no space in the development process. In ascending to the golden stool, we took the view that our heritage must mean more than the song and dance which have come to signify our culture. We were convinced that as the frontline leaders of the people, particularly in the rural communities, traditional leaders should be the ones who inspire and encourage effective development. Indeed, a peep into the history of our colonial past will suggest that such development as the colonial authorities brought to our people were at the behest of enlightened chiefs of the time. It was from this perspective that we set out our vision to deploy the fruits of our heritage in the course of development in full support of government. We set education as our priority, and thankfully we have provided full education for so many Ghanaians who would otherwise have been deprived of the benefits of education in their lives. Today, we are proud to acknowledge that one of the first batch of recipients of our education awards is a Minister of State in the government of President Otumfuo, and he joins a long line of recipients who are serving in the judiciary, in high public service, and in the corporate world. Besides education, we have developed a program which has enabled the city of Kumasi finally achieve the long-sought redevelopment of Kejetia with a new central market to breathe new life into our capital. We are encouraged by the number of projects such as the Kumasi Mall made possible through our direct intervention, and by the number of major corporate bodies who have had recourse to our good offices in resolving issues and enhancing their operations in Ghana. We mention in particular the Obuasi mine of Anglo Gold Ashanti, which is back in production, having overcome the danger of closure. As we celebrate our achievements over the 2 decades past, we solemnly renew and recommit to the vision for the decade ahead. We will work in tandem with government and with eligible and willing institutions and partners at home and abroad to accelerate the pace of economic development throughout Ashanti-Man and Ghana. We do so in the spirit that what we do may inspire similar efforts in other parts of Ghana, all of which will inure ultimately to the total development of our country. Looking up to the next decade, we will urge upon the nation an end to the culture of dependency now afflicting the body politic. We need to remember that the heritage of Asante is the very antithesis of the culture of dependency. It is a heritage of rugged enterprise and boundless endeavor. It was the spirit drawn from that heritage that was transferred into economic development when Asante ended its years as a warrior nation. And it was that spirit which shaped Asante's place in the Gold Coast and made it the economic powerhouse of the country. Yes, it is right to look to government to create the right environment for the triumph of enterprise. And yes, we should look to the emergence of banking and financial institutions better attuned to provide the necessary tools to support endeavor. But our people must take up the greater challenge to creativity, innovation, and enterprise. I believe we have among our sons and daughters with the resources and the capacity and ability, which fully utilized can propel Ghana to heights unknown. We have reason to be proud of our past, but that should only inspire us to aim for a greater future. Your Excellency, Excellencies, Nananum, sons and daughters of the Golden Stool, I urge you to rise to battle stations once more. Not to shoot at any foes, but to shoot for the stars of glory, of peace, and of development for all our people. Long live Asante, long live Ghana. I thank you very much.
tene da ya bo ho amane a kire mo akye ne yakoso nyina ana mpanisi e kwanti tv a ekopie kotia enti enadwumadi a yedi ye no ahamodaroma ha se ne de nyina esi na abadwafo a na se dwumayfo a ye nyina agi twi ebe amanhia ba ye adwuma no ye dɔɔso me nuaba ama nyako atefa ebaye afesu me nua abdua aprebi ebaye ena me nuaba ma samson kenya meche eso ba esa me ye wie ne fa ye pon we bibia ye fe yes yeda amanfo asifi se